We have catch and release. Nobody really gets in trouble, you know, like violent offenders are getting let out or very minimal time.
You're seeing crime here?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you an outlier, or do many people feel like you? Who are you?
I don't really know. I think people are afraid to voice their opinion, right? Like, we have no get up and go. We have no fight.
What do you guys think of the U.S.? You can say good, you can say bad.
I love the U.S. I think that I love that you guys actually have freedom of speech. You have the Second Amendment. Our government is taking away our guns, and that's never a good thing, right? When your government wants to take your guns, and they're the only ones with guns. I'd move to Alberta if they separated. They've got massive resources. They could be like a super booming economy out there if they separate. I mean, if they remain Canadian, then it's no different here than there, right?
Truer words were never spoken. Alberta might just be the last place in this country with a shot at a better tomorrow, but only if we find the guts to cut ourselves loose from this corrupt, parasitic system called Canada. Let's call it what it is. A country where criminals walk free, but if you dare speak out, boom, you get handcuffed and tossed in jail. Canadians have become comfortable marching to their own ruin, chanting elbows up like it's some kind of virtue when really it's the final lullaby of a nation walking proudly into the slaughterhouse. But Alberta, we've still got a chance, a shot at building something better, a society based on freedom, responsibility, and the pursuit of happiness. But it all depends on whether Albertans have the spine to stand up for it. If not, we'll go down with the rest of the ship. So what will it be? Let's find out. Very quickly though, if you enjoy these videos, please do me a solid and subscribe. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later if you change your mind. Thank you, and back to the video.
Donald Trump's election has given us a lot of hope. If anybody is going to have the guts to recognize an independent Alberta, it would be the Trump administration.
Rath hopes to collect enough signatures for a vote on secession by spring 2026. And if it's unsuccessful this time,
we just roll up our sleeves and work harder. None of us are going home. We'd have another referendum as soon as we could.
For these people in the oil-rich province of Alberta, the problem isn't the U.S., it's Canada.
This is the only political event I've ever been to in my entire life, because I believe in it so passionately.
Abusive, an abusive girlfriend.
Relationship, yeah. It's not that we want to leave Canada behind, but at the end of the day, how come it's okay to leave Alberta behind?
Canada is literally planning the destruction of our culture, the destruction of our economy.
This is Jeff Rath, a Calgary-based lawyer and one of the most vocal proponents of secession in Alberta.
Hop in, we'll go to the top of the hill. The Canada we all grew up in doesn't exist anymore as far as most of us are concerned. We have far more in common with people in Montana than we do in Ottawa and Montreal.
Rath co-founded the Alberta Prosperity Project. The organization's goal is to turn the province into a sovereign country with close ties to the United States.
Completely open border, zero tariffs on both sides of the border, almost completely integrated into the larger U.S. economy.
You ever notice how in most of Canada, people foam at the mouth blaming Donald Trump for everything? President from another country for problems that our own government created? I mean, the levels of Trump derangement syndrome are absolutely off the charts. Meanwhile, here in Alberta, we actually have a grip on reality. We know who's been wrecking this country for the past 10 years. And spoiler alert, it ain't Trump. It's the clowns in Ottawa. Albertans have much more in common with our neighbors in Montana and Idaho than we ever did with Ontario or Quebec. We share the same common sense, freedom, and we still value hard work over government handouts. That's why the support for Alberta independence continues to surge. More and more people are waking up. And when the time comes to vote, don't be surprised if President Trump is the first one to recognize Alberta as a free and independent country.
I think it would be best for all Albertans to become an independent country.
The Forever Canadian petition was submitted by former Alberta Deputy Premier Thomas Lukaszuk in June under old provincial rules. So it will have less than 3 months to get nearly 294,000 signatures. Meanwhile, there were also a couple of counter-protesters at the event.
We're basically trying to discuss whether we can achieve our goals within or without Canada. Either way, I feel the outcome will be positive for Alberta if we just keep having this conversation.
Hundreds of people showed up for the launch of the pro-Canadian initiative, which leaped ahead of the pro-separation referendum question by the Alberta Prosperity Project. That is being reviewed by courts for its constitutionality. If allowed to proceed, the pro-separation petition will have more time to collect fewer signatures under the new rules. But under Alberta legislation, there can only be one referendum question on a particular topic.
If the signatures are obtained within the time limit and verified and validated, then that would preclude, at least according to most readings of the legislation, that would preclude the second referendum on leaving.
If the Forever Canadian petition gathers enough signatures by October 28th, it will be brought to the provincial legislature, possibly leading to a referendum vote. The Alberta government says in a statement, "We will not speculate as to what citizen initiative petitions will or will not be successful, or those that end going forward."
And here come the dirty tricks. The leftists, with their full backing from the federal Liberal government, are already trying to sabotage Alberta's independence movement. And get this, the latest stunt? A washed-up, irrelevant former politician magically crawls out of the woodwork with a bogus petition of his own. The goal? To hijack the process and block the real independence referendum from happening, since only one can go on a ballot at a time. It's a bait and switch, plain and simple, and to top it all, bureaucrats got the real referendum proposal tied up in court. Classic red tape, stall tactics. But none of that is new. I've been saying it for months. These people will lie, cheat, and pull every dirty move in the book to stop Alberta from leaving the sinking ship. And make no mistake, it's only going to get nastier the closer we get to that independence vote. So buckle up, Alberta. The fight is far from over.
So what I've cautioned them is, right now, as I mentioned earlier, and we've just talked about Shadow, is that Ottawa really never took this seriously, and to any extent they talked about it was mocking. Now I think they're going to start to take it serious. And because they're going to take it serious, we're going to suffer bot attacks. We're going to see hyperinflated themes and stories coming from the legacy media, because the legacy media, and you and I've talked about this before, because I used to be interviewed a lot on my different high profile cases back in the day when the legacy media got 0% of its funding from Ottawa, and now gets hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and a good chunk of every paycheck of every reporter comes from Ottawa. And they need to pay mortgages too, or pay more commonly rent, because they can't afford to get a house to have a mortgage. So they're going to serve the paymaster, and there's going to be propaganda coming at us. I've said to these guys, like, you have never experienced before. Dirty tricks, false allegations, everything. They're going to see this. If they think that the closer it becomes real, the dirtier they're going to get. And we've seen from their history, the Liberals, that they'll play dirty.
All right, thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Special thanks to those of you who have donated to this project. It is much appreciated, and it helps me continue making videos. See you on the next one. Peace.